You can be the best shade of blue to someone who likes green. Let that sink. Sometimes the drive of wanting to be chosen or wanting to actually um show your colors is an attempt of control. And stay with me, I'm going to explain it to you. A few years ago, I used to allow all my shades or all my colors to show to people because I thought that this is the best way for me to express who I am. And at the same time, it allows people to see whether this is something they can actually handle or not. Until I learned that sometimes showing no shades and just staying there and observing what kind of colors you're seeing is the best way possible that you can do for yourself. And it doesn't mean that you hold yourself from like expressing yourself or blah blah blah. No, it's just giving yourself enough time to choose whether the colors you're seeing actually are things that you are ready to engage with. And how can I say this? And the more I go through this, the more I think of how far I've walked away from that, mindset. Um, and it was like one of the best, yet the worst things that I've faced through this mindset. Because certain friends maybe accept a certain side of you, but they will never deal with the other side. Um, and that doesn't make them bad people, it just makes them people that choose what kind of colors you have that they want to tolerate. And they're right about that. The same thing with you. So, whoever you're, add into your life, just make sure that at least this is what you're going to focus on. What kind of colors I'm seeing, what kind of colors this person is representing. Do I want to really add these colors into my life? Do we have the same colors? And once I start seeing things as, this, a lot of, relationships in my life start improving to better and better and better. Um, and that's why I wanted to speak about this because um I spoke about this phase of like just going through complete isolation and just wanting to focus on what I'm doing because I was able to choose my circle. They understand my seasons. They understand what I be going through without even speaking about that. And they also allow this phase of like checking up on me and I check up on them, but also in a way that it's healthy and helpful for both of us, um without disturbing that kind of flow state that we both or all of us are going through. And as much as I like to talk about this a lot, I do know that most of us crave the feeling of being chosen or being accepted for who we are. But sometimes, the best way that you can, feel that is by choosing yourself over and over and over and over again until when people see a certain color about you and then they choose to not engage with that, it feels okay to you because you mastered the art of accepting and choosing yourself over and over and over. And I'm a big hyper, so I'll hype people always on loving themselves and putting themselves first, and not in a selfish way that, how can I say it, that the internet is promoting, but mostly in a way that if you don't love yourself, if you don't do these kind of things to yourself, who's coming to do that for you? Nobody. Like, I think most people promote the idea that when you have friends, you can do this with friends. When you have a partner, you can do this with a partner. And when you have a husband, you can do this with a husband. But reality is, even when you have those people, you're still going to have to be alone because we evolve as human being alone and then with people as well. It's called, maybe you regulate yourself by yourself, and you can also co-regulate with someone else, but still you need to have the skill, the number one skill, which is regulating yourself by yourself, because this is life. And sometimes even when you get people that care about you, life circumstances, things, distance, and all of these things can get in this way, and you don't want to do this to yourself by depending on someone else that can do that for you. And I don't mean it in a negative way. Like, you can always team up with people, you can always build with people. And I love doing this as well with people. But at the same time, I do it and I appreciate it more because I've done the work by myself alone. And how can I explain this? It gets lonely, it gets ugly, it